And I think the big advantage of having them involved is that they can change the view of the research to be undertaken. And that can include questions such as the agenda, why do we do the research in the first place, the research question, but also questions of methodology, how do we do the research, who do we involve with the research. So I think that's really the main advantage of having them on board.
From the beginning, when we set up the topics and the priorities, and during the process of the development of the funds and the technologies, and at the final with the evaluation of the results.
Trying to have a change of mindset of how we think about security in Europe, we need to involve since the very beginning, since when we are planning to, for example, draft a project or draft a research call on security issues, we need to involve directly since the very beginning the civil society organizations.
They should be involved in the whole circle of research, planning, research, doing research, evaluation of research and distribution of research. So they shouldn't be kind of limited to the end in kind of just distributing the results of research. They should be involved already in kind of what are the topics in the research, what are the main issues, the pressing issues for the communities.
Well, I would say both on shaping the agenda of the research itself and also during its implementation. But we should, of course, not also forget about the promotion of the results of the security research. So, speaking practically, CSOs could be involved as advisors, experts, when either planning or implementing. But of course, later on, when the security research and its results are being put in practice, in informing the public what are the benefits, what are the new products, what we will gain out of it, what are the questions that are being opened. So in a sense we could say that we could use civil society also to put security research on a general public agenda, which I would say we could all agree that it's not at present at the moment.
It depends a lot of the CSO's focus and their mission and their structure. They can be involved in all levels.
Civil society organizations should be there already at an early stage, at the planning stage of security research, in order to bring up their topics. They should be present in a strong role during the implementation, the project participation, for example, and they should be able to exploit and disseminate the results in order to make a difference in their constituencies.
I think it's really important to have them engaged in the agenda setting, so in the phase of the research where the general direction is determined.
CSOs are very important, especially at the agenda setting stage.
They can discuss the work program with the Commission, they can raise their ideas and their problems and issues and whatever, so they should be treated like every other research partner at the moment.
So CSOs, if they're tied into that project, can actually help to inform the whole programme from every stage of its life cycle, to be able to inform those who actually set the agenda through to those who implement it.
Maybe sharing some specific data in order to improve the knowledge and the awareness of some situations or problems.
Knowledge, and they can share with this community, and that's why until now we are just wasting this knowledge, and that's why we have to include it, and we have to have a stronger voice of civil society organizations in the research community.
And having a lot of collective intelligence, thanks to the fact that civil society organizations are directly linked with the citizens.
They could have access to different information, to different research inputs because of this, because of the access to the end users.
And to incorporate this knowledge into the project and program planning stage, I think would be a big boost in practicability of security research, and I think that's one of the major roles they can play, besides being important multiplicators, of course, but this function they already have, and I think they should be more upstream, so to say.
And what we've also seen is that they've also got special access to information that can support the research process if they were actually involved from an early stage in the development of the proposal and actually the delivery as well.
A research project can only be excellent if it has practical consequences, if it makes a difference. And CSOs' roles in research often tend to do that. So they are the ones who facilitate that difference, who actually translate the research into real life.
I think CSOs can bring the kind of reality check to security research. They are down to earth, they are doing work down on the street and may bring a much more demand-oriented approach to the security research programs.
I think CSOs have a very good feeling of problems that are emerging in society. Sure that they can discuss security from a totally different perspective, that they are civil society and they are not market-driven and they are not university-driven, they are the voice of the civil society, and that's why we need this strong voice as well in the research community.
I also think that CSOs have this practical experience like on the ground amongst the real end users of the security research product and results.
CSOs have, civil society in general has the very important role of bringing in front the needs of the people and the needs of the citizens, and practically they have an important say on what people need.
I would say that civil society organizations are the sensors in society. They're very close to the ground. They can contribute their feeling of what is needed in very practical terms from security research in order to deliver its original mission, that is, make citizens more secure.
So it's a rather bureaucratic question, sadly, not particularly an exciting one for everybody concerned, but I think you do need those structures where CSOs can actually come in and inform the debate. And one of the things we've discussed in the workshop today is about how perhaps at the Security Advisory Board level you could actually maybe have a dedicated forum for CSO representatives to actually inform at that top level, the strategic level, how the program is functioning. I think something along those lines would be very important.
What we learned today is there seems to be a high bureaucratic barrier.
But some of the mechanics don't work particularly well for CSOs. So some of the bureaucracy, some of the funding models don't reflect the needs and requirements of CSOs. I think they also can have a very important role to play in evaluating research. So
well, I think CSOs are very important, especially at the agenda setting stage. Because security research now it's often more in the interest of industry, and so they can sort of, on the one hand, make sure that the priorities are in line with the big need of society for more security.
But I think that they should be more involved in the overall assessment of the programs and the projects, like impact assessment, like proportionality assessment.
We're talking about civil society engagement in the European Security Research Program. We are meaning about making this program more demand-driven. It is currently technology-dominated, market-driven, but I think it could deliver more on its original objectives when civil society had a say about what is needed, how to implement it, and how to minimize negative, non-intended consequences.
I mean, in terms of the current situation, then I think the research programme itself actually needs to change. I think for too long we've been very much focused on technology solutions. That's not to say that technology solutions aren't appropriate in some circumstances, but the focus should be on understanding the problem and the solutions that might be possible. Within that, then technology will be a component. What we have at the moment is that technology is the focus for the solution, and the projects are very much technology focused. And in many areas that isn't appropriate anymore.